Joe.
And I'm Cameron Word.
Hey, Cam.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. Mm-hmm. It's the end of the week.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Yeah, one more day before the weekend.
Mm-hmm. And there are talks about maybe going to like a 4.5-day work week. Can you imagine?
Well, that doesn't really matter for us.
Yeah, that is true.
Because
we're here every day.
Although, it does bring up an interesting question. So, let's say, like some countries have a 4-day work week, right?
Yes.
And the way that our live show works in the evening, we do weekday shows, 5 days, and then there are the reruns, the 재방송, on the weekend. So, that Friday, would that become a weekend so we wouldn't be doing the show? Or would we still do it as if it was a regular weekday?
Oh, wow. That's a very heavy question.
These are the philosophical questions I think about in the shower.
I do remember visiting Korea and, you know, there were schools on Saturday. People worked until noon on Saturday. You know, we've come a long way. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah. You know, the less work we have to do, the better.
Well, sure.
I would say.
Sure. All right. So Friday is a biz dialogue. It's a business dialogue. And we are talking about tariffs. Okay. And let me just remind the spelling again. T-A-R-I-F-F-S.
Yes.
So 2 F's.
Yeah.
Okay, not 2 R's.
I have to remember this as well.
Isn't it true? The spelling is confusing.
Yeah. Is it 2 R's or 1 R?
Yeah.
Is it 2 F's or 1 F?
Or is it 2 R's and 2 F's?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 2 F's, everyone. 1 R. Has the trade war hit home yet? So this trade war that, you know, the whole world is undergoing, if it hits home, what is this expression, to hit home?
It means that it becomes reality to you. You are affected.
Right.
It's not in another country. It's not far away. No, the thing is affecting you right now where you are.
That's right. It's like affecting you personally and pretty much your family, your home.
Yes.
Okay. If you turn to someone or something, what does this mean?
There is a problem that you have. You need a solution. So you go to that person or you go to that thing to fix your problem.
All right. And if we are in the same boat?
So you have to be careful because in Korean there is the expression 같은 배를 타고 있다, which has a different meaning, right? So if we're in the same boat, it only means we are in the same situation. So things going bad for you mean things also go badly for me.
So instead of being a team, it just means that we're both in similar situations.
Yes, it's not about teamwork.
Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and listen to our biz dialogue.
How's business these days, Quinn? Has the trade war hit home yet?
Well, several of my clients have canceled their orders and turned to larger companies.
That's terrible. Why would they do that?
Because they can offer them lower prices.
It almost seems like they're targeting small businesses. What can you do to combat it?
I've been searching for domestic suppliers, but most of them are in the same boat as me and get a lot of their raw materials from overseas.
Please join us on page 104. You can find the power dialogue there. Tariffs. Has the trade war hit home yet? Let's begin. Arlen says, how is business these days, Quinn? Has the trade war hit home yet? So, if something hits home, what are you saying?
So there are 2 closely related meanings. The first one, which is the meaning here, is it affecting you?
Okay.
Right? We talk about trade wars with other countries.
Right.
So we could think, it's far away. It doesn't affect me. But when you say it hits home, you're saying, no, my business is being affected directly by this trade war.
Yes.
The second related meaning is more of a realization. if you say something and it hits home, maybe some speaker says something and you're like, oh my gosh, he's right.
Yeah.
There is a realization. So there's in both of these meanings, there's a feeling that something is not abstract. It's not just an idea somewhere. It has become real for you.
Yeah, that's right. So in this case, the trade war, has it become real for you?
Yes.
Like, do you feel the effects of the trade war?
Yes.
How is it affecting you financially? And so Quinn says, well, several of my clients have canceled their orders and turned to larger companies. So yes, it seems that it has hit home for Quinn because the effect is that he's losing clients. And where are they going?
Larger companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're turning to larger companies. So if you turn to something or someone, what are you doing?
You're going to that thing or that person to solve your problems. So they were originally going to Quinn because she could get her items from overseas for a okay price.
Yeah.
So they were willing to get their products from her.
Sure.
But now she has to pass on the tax, right?
That's right.
Of the tariff. That's making it expensive, and larger companies can keep their prices lower even with these tariffs.
That's right. Because they just, they have a lot of stock.
Yeah, you can buy in bulk.
Yeah, you buy in bulk.
So you get a discount.
That's right,
Yeah.
right. But the smaller companies, it's, they can feel the effects right away.
Yes.
So if you turn to someone, in this case it's a company, but if you turn to a person, what does that mean?
So if you're having a problem and you need some advice or you need them to help you, you will literally walk up to them or you'll call them and say, hey, can you help me?
Yeah. Yeah. You say, like, I usually turn, in your case, maybe your sister, for certain advice. I turn to maybe my best friend for certain advice, or my cousin.
Let's say you're a parent and you need someone to look after your children.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, when I need to leave my kids at home, I turn to my sister.
Sure.
And she comes and looks after them for a while.
Right, right. You usually turn to family.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
That's terrible. Why would they do that?
Okay. So, because Quinn is saying he's losing or she's losing clients, and Quinn says because they can offer them lower prices. So, in the end, Cameron, it's always about money. Yeah. It's always about the price in business.
It is true. Like, I do want to help local, smaller businesses, but sometimes if it's expensive, I can't help it.
Right. And then also, maybe you are also in a position to tighten your belt.
Yeah.
So you have no choice.
Right. You know, if I need to buy furniture, I would love to buy artisan, locally crafted furniture.
Yeah.
But you know I'm going to go to that Swedish store
right.
and get that Swedish furniture.
That's right.
Because it's so much cheaper.
It sure is. Okay. Arlen says, it almost seems like they're targeting small businesses. What can you do to combat it? Okay, so Arlen is saying that this trade war is affecting the small business the most. And then he says, what can you do, and that is our power pattern, to combat it? Now, combat, C-O-M-B-A-T.
Yes.
Okay, combat sounds like military fighting.
It does. Actually, that's a good definition. And this word, as a verb, has two stress patterns.
Okay.
So you said to combat, but you can also say to combat.
Yes.
Yeah. As a verb, it can be both. As a noun, it's always combat.
That's right.
But yes, to combat or combat means to fight. And it originally was for military, soldiers going in, and, you know, guns, pew, pew, pew. That is to combat the enemy.
That's right.
But if you have a problem, in this case, that is affecting your life, you can try and fix it, and that fight with your problems, you can say to combat your problems.
Right. So if you've got a big problem and you need to fight this, combat the problem. So what can you do is our power pattern.
Yeah. So here Arlen does seem to be asking, what are the possibilities?
Yeah.
What things, what methods can you use? Sometimes this is rhetorical, meaning kind of like you're giving up.
Right.
Oh,
what can you do? Right. There's nothing you can do. That's basically what it's saying. Okay. We'll give you examples in just a bit. Quinn says, I've been searching for domestic suppliers, but most of them are in the same boat as me and get a lot of their raw materials from overseas. Okay. So his business and another business, a lot of these small businesses, they are in the same boat. They're not working as a team.
No, this is not about teamwork. It's just that they are in the same situation.
Yes.
The tariffs are, of course, affecting Quinn, but they're affecting all of the competitors as well.
That's right. All right, let's go ahead and listen to that dialogue one more time.
How's business these days, Quinn? Has the trade war hit home yet?
Well, several of my clients have canceled their orders and turned to larger companies.
That's terrible. Why would they do that?
Because they can offer them lower prices.
It almost seems like they're targeting small businesses. What can you do to combat it?
I've been searching for domestic suppliers, but most of them are in the same boat as me and get a lot of their raw materials from overseas.
Okay, it's time for Power Note. We're on pages 106 and 107. This expression, to hit home, means that you can feel it personally, okay? Whether it's emotional or financial, it's affecting you personally.
Yes.
The speech really hit home for many people.
I know. I even cried a little when he talked about his personal struggles.
Yeah. So you talked about the two definitions that are similar. The second one, in that it affects you personally, like emotionally.
Yeah.
Right. So when you see a movie or when you hear the lyrics of a song and you can understand it because it's happened to you. Yeah, it hits home.
Yes.
Right? Okay. His words hit home and made me think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, as a native speaker, often we have this with words hitting home, comments hitting home.
Right.
Even maybe something like consequences hitting home. That goes back to that first meaning where the consequences of my actions. Maybe you do something and don't think about it.
Maybe you do something stupid.
Yeah, you do something stupid.
Yeah, and then...
and then you realize later, oh my gosh, I should not have done that.
Right.
I'm going to have to pay the price.
That's right. So you're feeling the actual result, the impact of what you did. So yeah, and as I mentioned before, a movie or a song or just someone's conversation, it really hits home, meaning you can relate to it.
Yes.
Okay, if you turn to someone or something, you are going to that thing or someone for help or support. Okay. Who do you talk to when you can't solve a problem in your life?
I always turn to my mom for advice.
Yeah. Let's think about who we turn to when we have a problem.
The internet. I almost always turn to the internet now.
You're so right.
Right?
You are so right.
Oh no, my toilet is broken.
What do I do?
Internet.
Yeah. Right. Oh no.
How do I cook pasta?
Yeah.
Internet. So many things now.
That is so true.
You just turn to the internet.
Even regarding your mental issues.
Yeah.
Why am I feeling this way? What should I do?
Why am I crying?
Yeah.
Internet, please tell me. Yeah.
We turn to the internet for advice. Yeah, it's very true. Or ChatGPT. Yeah. All right. He turned to music during tough times.
Ooh, so if you're having a hard time,
it
doesn't have to be a person. It doesn't even have to be an object.
Right.
It can be music.
Right.
Or books or...
Right. And you hear about these stories of famous novelists or writers or musicians, and maybe they felt kind of isolated, lonely, a bit of an outsider, and they turn to music, and that's how they start writing music, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a place that gives them comfort and solace.
Yeah. Solace, of course, means comfort whenever you're having a difficult time.
Right.
And I think that for art in general, so maybe someone turns to painting or turns to poetry.
Yeah.
Those types of things.
Yeah, that's right. I turn to comedy.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Right. You
Laughing
know
a lot.
you know how I love my comedies.
Yes. This doesn't always have to be something good and helpful though.
Okay, what do you mean?
Some people turn to alcohol when they're having problems.
That is true.
So it is not always a good thing, of course.
Or food.
Yeah, turn to food. Bad food.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
These makes you feel good.
Addictions, it makes you feel good
it does.
in the moment.
Yeah.
But it can be very bad for your health or your life overall.
Okay. Now, if we are in the same boat, it means that we are in a similar situation, and usually we're talking about a bad situation.
Yeah.
Okay? I'll never finish this on time.
We're all in the same boat with these deadlines.
Yeah. Everybody has the same deadline.
You're not special.
Yeah. You're not the only one.
Having a difficult time.
Yeah. Jake and I are in the same boat financially.
There is no context here, but like you said, when we use the word in the same boat, it sounds bad.
Right.
So they're probably in a bad financial situation.
That's right. That's right. So it's kind of like when someone is talking about their problems and to make them feel kind of better, you do say like, actually, we're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
Me too.
We're experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, that's right. You're not the only one. So, yeah. Okay. What can you do is our power pattern. And really, this is not asking for a solution.
It can be, but often it is rhetorical when you're kind of giving up.
So when you say it without anything, if you just use this pattern, what can you do? It means like, there's not much we can do.
Yeah.
How about this one? What can you do to fix it?
So maybe you are asking for an answer.
Yeah.
But you might be saying, there's no way to fix it.
Yeah.
What can you do when you've got no money?
Yeah. Meaning I have no choice.
I have to do this.
Yeah.
I have no money.
That's right. Okay. Our power vocab is the word combat or combat. And do check out the definition on page 108. And please stop by
오디오 학당
and subscribe for a very small monthly fee.
Yes, indeed.
And you can listen to us again and again. And also, remember to check out Evening Special at 6 p.m.
Yes, we will be there for more laughing and enjoyment. Please turn to us if you want a good time.
Ooh, very good. Have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.